We have here Chapter 4, Lesson 2, Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying, which is a relatively new form of bullying, it hasn't been around for as long as traditional face-to-face or physical bullying has occurred. Cyberbullying has grown with the technology that many of us possess within our own pockets right now. Cyberbullying, the electronic posting of mean-spirited messages about a person, often done anonymously. And that's the one thing about cyberbullying in comparison to bullying, the old-fashioned form of bullying, where if you had something nasty to say to someone's face, many times people would say it to their face. Nowadays, people can hide behind a computer screen, a cell phone, a handle, or whatever type of screen they can put up between them and their victim. Cyberbullying uses technology, which is the use of electronic posting of mean-spirited messages done anonymously, social media, text messages, emails, instant messages, chat rooms, websites, online gaming sites. Many of these are still relevant today. One thing on their instant messages may not be as relevant unless you're identifying it as DM or direct messaging. Same thing. Here are some of the forms of social media that are available to us, intended for positive uses for communication and socializing, however, have been turning themselves into very nasty and mean places for some people to visit. Because of cyberbullying, it is very difficult for someone who is a victim of bullying to escape. In the old days, bullying would occur predominantly at school or other after-school activities in which the bully would also attend. And in many cases, that victim of that bullying would receive some sort of relief or a break from the bullying when they were no longer physically around that bully, by either going home from school for the end of the day, when that club or activity, that sport would end for the day, and that victim got a chance to go home and be to themselves and enjoy the peace and quiet. Now, unfortunately, because of these electronic forms of media, the bullying follows you no matter where you go and is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week occurrence. The differences between cyberbullying and bullying is that cyberbullying can be done anonymously, and it can be difficult to trace. However, it's not impossible. Cyberbullying can reach a wider audience very quickly. One post, one tweet, one snap, whatever you want to call it, can go out to hundreds, if not thousands of people within a matter of seconds. Cyberbullying, as I've said already, can be active 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Harassing messages, texts, pictures are extremely difficult to delete once they have been posted online. Many people don't realize that just deleting it from your phone alone does not make it go away. The internet contains millions upon millions of forms of data and images, and once it's out there on the internet, it's very hard to delete. Somewhere, somehow, it will exist. Teens who are cyberbullied, just like other forms of bullying, may resort to alcohol and drug use, may skip school to avoid being embarrassed even further, experience in-person bullying, because maybe from some people who have absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with the reason as to why they're getting bullied, has received that text message, has received that social media post, and will then just feel like they have the need to carry on that bullying even though they have absolutely nothing to do with it whatsoever. Maybe they are unwilling to attend school or school events. As a result, they receive poor grades academically. They have a low self-esteem, and as a result, may have more health-related issues. Maybe they're not eating right, not sleeping right, not getting the exercise they need. If it occurs, here's what you need to do. Avoid responding to the bully. Cyberbullies or face-to-face bullying, they want a reaction. They want a reaction to see that it's bothering you. Avoid that here. Avoid forwarding cyberbullies messages. Don't let other people see what this bully is sending. Otherwise, you are now extending the reach of this bully, and they are allowed to be even bigger and stronger. Block the cyberbully. Many social media accounts have the ability to block people if you so choose. Collect evidence of the cyberbullying. Write it down, dates, times, descriptions of the incidents. Take screenshots. Save the messages. That's the one thing that many people who cyberbully don't understand is that this stuff is traceable. There is hard evidence. You can't say, no, I did not say that when it's in written form. If the cyberbullying occurs, here's what else you can do. Report cyberbullies to cell phone companies and internet service providers. Those services, such as a cell phone and or internet, is not intended to harass people. If people are violating the user agreements, they may be banned from those services. Report them to law enforcement. Every school has an SRO. Please feel free to report it to the school resource officer. And also, don't forget, if you're going to do that, you also need to report it to the administration of your school. Just like before with regards to bullying and harassment. Many times, teachers and staff are the last to find out of a situation that's occurring. The students primarily know when bullying is occurring. They know who's the victim, they know why they're the victim, they know who is doing it, and how far it is reaching. Staff, administration, teachers, and guidance counselors do not know this, unfortunately, in many cases, until it is too late. Here are some other things you can do to stop cyberbullying. Keep record of evidence of attacks. Don't respond. Don't show your nasty side when you're trying to inform others of something nasty they are doing. Do tell an adult if you receive harassing messages. Don't forward those messages or images sent by a cyberbully. Just physically show them on your device. Do block messages from a cyberbully if possible. Don't share or post personal information with strangers or people who you do not know well. Do report the incident to your social media site, internet provider, cell phone service, school, and or local law enforcement agency. Don't visit websites that are unsafe. Do keep your passwords safe and do not share them with anyone else except your parents. Don't post any images, texts, or whatever you think of online that can hurt or embarrass you or other people you may know. Let's take a look here to see how we can beat cyberbullies.
Hi, Wellcasters. Last week, we started talking about bullies. Those grizzly bears that seem to think that they're allowed to make you feel unsafe and uncomfortable. We showed you some ways to deal with those grizzlies, from playing dead to traveling in packs. But what if the bears could follow you, worming their way through the series of wires that now make up such a huge part of our lives? Today on Wellcast, we're taking a look at cyberbullying. In many ways, cyberbullying can be much scarier than physical bullying, and much harder to escape, too. But that is okay, because your Wellcast army has returned to back you up. We're going to teach you a 4-step method for escaping the clutches of cyberbullies. Are you ready? Unsurprisingly, cyberbullying is extremely detrimental to your health. The Journal of Adolescent Health found that cyberbullying victims are more likely to become depressed than targets of traditional bullying. And cyberbullies don't really have much in the way of motives either. With bullying, there's normally an imbalance of power. But you don't need to be powerful to harass someone online. You just need the internet. According to the American Counseling Association, 40% of cyberbullies engage in online aggression just for fun. Okay, it doesn't really help to know that someone who's constantly harassing you over Facebook has no reason to do so, but you should take comfort in the fact that it does have very little to do with you and everything to do with the bully's own super weird issues. You can't fight those issues. What you can do is learn how to avoid cyberbullying when possible and extract yourself from the situation when it's too late to avoid it. It's time for our 4-step method. Pause and print this Wellcast worksheet. Step 1. Privacy is prevention. Take a second to go through any place you store data about yourself online and make sure the privacy settings are airtight. Google your name. See what comes up. Make sure your Facebook settings don't give out your email address or phone number. Step 2. When bullied, don't respond and don't retaliate. This is a ridiculously hard rule to follow because, hey, you're getting sent awful things, and the first thing you want to do is fire back. But think of it like this, though. Engaging with a bully is like pouring water on a grease fire. It seems like the obvious thing to do at the time because, holy crap, my stovetop is in flames! But water just spreads the fire, and retaliating to a cyberbully just encourages the bully because you're giving him what he wants. Step 3, block the bully if possible. What's better than ignoring a bully? Making it impossible for him to contact you, that's what. Try one of the following methods to make it harder for your bully to reach you. If you're on a messaging system, set it up so that only contacts on your buddy list can contact you. If this doesn't work, try going invisible or blocking the individual screen names that you know to be dangerous. Screen all incoming phone calls and text messages. If necessary, temporarily suspend your social media pages. Step 4, save the information and tell someone. First and foremost, report the bullying to the service provider because cyberbullying is outlawed on most sites and messenger services. Cyberbullying is also illegal in most states, though some bullies might think they can get away with a lot simply because nobody knows who they are. What they forget is that they're leaving a pretty significant electronic trail. Save any threatening correspondence, email, Facebook, phones, etc., and show it to somebody you trust. This could be a parent, teacher, or friend. To recap, if you're being cyberbullied, first, make sure your online presence is as private as possible. Don't retaliate, but block the bully from communicating with you as much as you can. And finally, save all information and tell someone you trust about the bullying. If you would like more advice on dealing with bullies, like why you should never listen to a bully in the first place, click back to our last bullying episode. Tweet us at WatchWellcast,